Hello again, Mike here with Jeff.
How's it going?
Kind of our weekly podcast we've been doing the past couple weeks now.
Yep.
And it continues today.
Yes, it does. And, well,
A lot
so much has happened, not only in
It's great.
hockey news, but
Yeah.
football news. Come on, I got to say this once.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is back for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, I'm done. Hockey
All
time.
right.
I had to say that.
I know.
But the biggest news in the hockey world, Erik Karlsson has finally been traded. Finally.
It just took until the training teams.
Yes.
Most teams
But
finally happened.
you called it. You
Yeah,
said
I
either
said a team out west.
out
Whether
west, either the
between
Vegas Golden
San Jose
Knights
and
or the
Vegas.
San Jose Sharks, and it has been the San Jose Sharks.
Yes.
And the exact trade,
Because when all the teams were rumored in it, because Tampa Bay was rumored.
Right.
That was just a bit of a headache in general.
Well,
That's
it was
what I
interest-
talk about too, because what's his face is out as GM.
Steve Yzerman. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
We'll get much
We'll
more
get to
into
that
that
too,
later. But the official trade is Erik Karlsson and prospect forward Francis Perron from the Ottawa Senators to the San Jose Sharks in exchange for Chris Tierney, Rudolph Balcers, Dylan DeMello, prospect Josh Norris, and a conditional 2019 second-round pick and a conditional 2020 first-round pick. So, yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. Just
So here's one of the there's two conditions on the picks. One condition, this is a very interesting one. If Karlsson appears on the reserve list of any Eastern Conference team this season, San Jose must send another first-round pick to Ottawa by 2022. And what does that even mean, like that you put them on the reserve list? Because that's honestly the first time I think I've ever heard of that.
he's hurt.
I get that's what I'm thinking, like the injured reserve, because Chris Johnson from I want to say he is Hockey Night in Canada senior writer for Sportsnet. He also he's the one that tweeted that information out. But then he said at the bottom, call that the Mike Hoffman clause.
Yeah.
So little interesting thing there. But there was. So there, according to Elliot Friedman, there was definitely not an extension for Karlsson as part of the deal.
Yeah. But that's just something Carlson wanted to do.
Yes.
Because Carlson said he wanted to first get kind of acclimated to the city he was trying to before making that decision. And also, I think it's more if kind of still playing the odds for seeing what teams could offer him during the offseason.
Yes, and also, should the Sharks sign Karlsson to a contract extension, Ottawa receives San Jose's second-round selection in 2021, which would upgrade to a first-round selection, which is not lottery protected, by the way, if the Sharks reaches the Stanley Cup Final in 2019.
And if I'm the Sharks, I'm going to want to try to sign Karlsson, because if you don't, kind of blowing a little bit of you trying to rebuild, because your team is pretty old.
Yes, Joe Thornton is still there.
Yeah.
It was funny. For Joe Thornton, he had it was just someone was texting him, and they released the conversation. Let me see if I can find it. But obviously, if anybody was excited, I don't blame him. But Pierre LeBrun, in fact, was texting Joe Thornton. And when he asked Thornton for his reaction on getting Karlsson, blank, incredible. So you can kind of fill in the blanks there. But he's a character. But, think about it this way, though. You now have Erik Karlsson,
pretty decent.
Mark Edward Vlasic.
Yeah.
You have Brent Burns.
Yep.
And
Erik Karlsson's going to be a deadly duo.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's really not fair. But
I'm kind of surprised. I felt like they could have gone more.
yes, that I was just going to ask you do you think the Senators got enough in return for Erik Karlsson?
No.
I agree. And
It's your biggest piece that you're going to get anything back from, and you didn't get that much.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the guys you got were going to be okay, but you don't have any elite talent anymore.
Right. You really don't. The
or
only
elite caliber.
Yeah, the
prospects.
only one is deemed
No.
elite is Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah.
And other than that,
And he hasn't played a game yet.
yeah. And now here's the other thing is because I think due to Karlsson being traded, obviously they're different positions, but Tkachuk, I think, is going to they're going to need his help even more, so they're going to try to get him to play as much as they can.
I'm sure they're not done either. I'm sure about the trade now they'll trade away Stone or Duchesne.
Well, Duchesne, it's interesting. I don't think he's worked out quite as they hoped, and
no, but
I don't know. But
they should have taken the first round pick.
Yeah,
from Colorado.
Yeah, okay, because now they're screwed. I was talking with your brother Mitch the other day. I was talking with your brother the other day, last time I was here, Mitch, and he was. We were talking about how, because part of the condition for the Matt Duchene trade is that if the Ottawa Senators did not forfeit their first round pick either last year or now this year, or it had been one or the other, since they didn't give it up last year, they used that to draft Brady Tkachuk. Great pick. I love it. I think he's going to be great for them. They are now forced to give up their first-round pick this year, and we're saying that it's almost a guaranteed top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And with the odds of possibly moving up in the draft, due to that, Colorado could win the draft lottery and draft Jack Hughes, which would be crazy. I don't know. You never know. But still like to explore options. Yeah. However, either way, it's just the whole thing's crazy. And here's, I think, the stat of the day right here. The Stanley Cup odds for the San Jose Sharks more than doubled with the addition of Karlsson, going from 39-1 all the way to 17-1.
Yeah, because San Jose easily won the trade.
Hands down.
I don't know what Ottawa's going to be doing now, what they're going to be hoping.
And even more.
Unless they're trying to do like a Moneyball thing. Like, you need to get little guys to help us out here.
Yes. They're even more.
The big picture.
They're even more in trouble now because J.G. Pajot the other day, according to multiple sources, could be out from 4 to 6 months, and the surgery to repair a Achilles tendon could be necessary. So this hurts big time.
It does.
The only ones that I considered a win for the Senators here in this trade is Chris Tierney and Josh Norris. Other than that, not so much.
But it's only a middle of the packed kind of guys.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then, this.
And Brady Tkachuk's a winner.
Yes.
It's hard to build around a winner.
It really is. The only one you can build around is Ovechkin, but
even then, it's been hard.
It has been very. Yes, no, I agree, and I'm glad you brought that up because
Lane's having a better time because Wheeler and everyone did.
But they did lose Stasny, so that hurts.
I don't think it's the biggest loss.
They
didn't have to the second half.
Yes, true. But here's an interesting note to mention here. So, NHL expert Pix on Twitter sent this out and tweeted this out, and it's a little graph or whatever you want to call it of all the players out and in when the Sens return on shipping out. Kyle Turris, Mike Hoffman, and Erik Karlsson. So out, no longer with Ottawa. Kyle Turris, Shane Bowers, Andrew Hammond, 2019 first round pick, 2018 third round pick, Mike Hoffman, Cody Donahue, 2020 fifth round pick, Erik Karlsson, and Francis Perron. They got Matt Duchene, Mikhail Bodker, Julius Bergman, 2020 sixth round pick from San Jose, and a 2019/20 first round pick from San Jose, a 2019 second round pick from the Sharks as well. Chris Tierney, Josh Norris, Rudolph Balcers, and Dylan DeMello. So a majority of those the picks / players came from the Karlsson trade. However,
and a little bit from the Hoffman trade.
A little bit from the Hoffman trade. However, it's not nearly enough as they could have gotten in return.
Yeah.
I think my starting price, asking-wise, would have been at least a first-round pick, maybe 2, a second-round pick, either one of Team Amir, Thomas Hertl, or Ryan Merkley, the Sharks' first-round pick this past year's draft. And it's even more of a steal for the Sharks GM, Doug Wilson, because he didn't end up having to give away any of those 3 players I just mentioned. No. And that's a win right there.
The only thing we're to lose is if they can't resign them, which will be the thing this coming off season. But
and
until then,
right.
He's a good fit there.
No, I agree. And
it makes it a little difficult because I keep going back and forth on who's going to win the Pacific. Because the last time we talked, I said it was going to be Vegas.
Max Pacioretty. But
now
it's going to be neck and neck.
Yeah.
In hindsight, Mac Larkin of the Hockey News tweeted this out. Doug Wilson, and this is an interesting thing. Doug Wilson is the same guy who got Joe Thornton for Marco Sturm, Wayne Primo, and Brad Stewart. You wade into the blockbuster trade waters with him, and you're clearly dealing with, as he calls it, quote, a predatory marine animal of sorts, end quote. But he's unbelievable at these type of trades. You saw the Mike Hoffman trade where they trade him, then they swapped him for to Florida.
And then Ottawa didn't want that to happen again, so they made sure he couldn't.
Yeah, but it's unreal that and others. Mark Dumont for the Athletic for Montreal said his first reaction to the Karlsson return is that the Pacioretty return was pretty good. And I agree.
Yeah.
And that even wasn't that great. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Because this is for me. When I first heard about the news that Pierre LeBrun first tweeted out that a trade was completed and the Karlsson. Yes, he did, and because of you, I found out. But then I went to, so really thanks to Mike Witmer before Pierre LeBrun. So just saying it out there. Great inside sources. But I tweeted out easily.
Which was that? This is how it happened. Mitch texted me, and then I texted you.
Yeah, and then I tweet out. But I said easily 2 first-round picks, 2 top prospects, and someone like Merkley go to Ottawa in exchange for Karlsson. Obviously, got to wait and see the exact details, but it could be something like that. And then, out of nowhere, it was nothing like that.
No.
So, that's fun. So that wasn't the only news of that day.
There's been a couple of big things.
Tyler Seguin re-signed with the Dallas Stars finally.
That's a big re-sign for them.
That's huge because going into camp, he made a lot of interesting comments about how he was, saying, "Oh, I'm kind of surprised that I still don't have a contract," and then,
which makes you also think then that he wanted to stay.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is that he's surprised by it, by, not getting a contract. However, finally got one, which is good. So, the 5-time All-Star signed with the Stars for a $78.8 million deal for 8 years that goes through the 2026-2027 season.
Yeah.
General Manager Jim Neal announced the deal Thursday before the Stars flew to Boise, Idaho for training camp. And I don't know if you saw, but did you see the Dallas Stars social media page for Twitter, the video they released?
No.
Announcing the signing. This is great. Basically, the game Super Mario?
Yeah.
So,
Super Mario thing.
Yeah, it's Super Mario, and he has a hockey stick with him, and he's shooting pucks at all the teams, and stomping on the logos and everything. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like whoever can, the Dallas Stars social media team did a fantastic job with this, and then
I wouldn't mind going to a Dallas Stars game too.
Yeah, right.
Because their main game is pretty funny too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're of course facing Bowser. Takes a shot in that scores, and then shoots the puck at Bowser and destroys his
Peach.
Thank you, Tyler. Your quest is over. We present you with a new contract extension through 2026 to 2027, 8 years.
You got no princess at the end of that.
Yeah, no, I know. But overall, I think it's stuff like that cracks me up.
Yeah.
But good on Dallas for.
But this is why Dallas had to make it because they had been signed for a long period of time. So
right.
he was their next biggest piece that they needed to have.
Right, it's Ben and Seguin. Those two are just.
And also you have Ben Bishop too. He's hit or miss, but he's
really
better than what they've had before.
I agree with Kerry Lettinen. Lettinen's not terrible, but he's not great either. But compared to Bishop, he's been better. Yeah. But for the Dallas Stars, really quickly.
It's the toughest division they're in, but.
Yeah, but so right now they have their best pieces. Now definitely include Tyler Seguin, as again just resigned. Jamie Benn, Seguin, Alexander Radulov, Jason Spezza. You do have. Where was he? Nikushkin, he re-signed with the Stars. That was big for them because they lost him originally to the KHL. Then they somehow convinced him to come back.
Their only problem is they don't have the best defense.
Right. Matthias Janmark as well as a decent piece. Mark Mathot, John Klingberg, Steven Johns, Essa Lindo, Roman Polak. That makes me laugh. And Julius Honka. It's not the greatest top six right there. Obviously a lot of work, but it does help having Klingberg. I think that's the go-to piece right there, and Mathot doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, but I still have, if you can go back to when Mitch and I talked about Central, I still have Dallas Smith and playoffs being third in Central. That's all I have. I want to take a look at the standings really quickly right now. I have them beating out Minnesota and St. Louis.
And this is for the Central. Thank you.
Yeah. Because the top two is going to be Winnipeg or Nashville.
Yeah, so for the Central, last season, it was the Nashville Predators, Winnipeg Jets, Minnesota Wild, Colorado Avalanche, St. Louis Blues, Dallas Stars, and the Chicago Blackhawks in that order. Here's the thing. That entire division was 92 points or more, except for Chicago. That was the only team. Literally,
Chicago was a team with Kane and Taves that they can easily take back.
And the crazy thing is literally St. Louis and Colorado had that game 82. Winner would go to the playoffs. Colorado won that in dominating fashion, while Dallas, so St. Louis only missed the playoffs by a point because of the loss in regulation. And that helped the Flyers big time because with having the St. Louis Blues first-round pick, that got them a better opportunity to draft someone. Jay O'Brien, yep. And then Dallas only missed the playoffs by 3 points. Yeah. So
it's a close division.
It's a very close division.
And on paper, I always think it could be Dallas just as a Seguin, Ben,
and Bishop, but
then you see the defense and see that's where they fall
and that's
off.
where the struggles continue.
Yeah, that's where you see Nashville or Winnipeg.
Yes. So I think the top two remain the same, Nashville and Winnipeg.
They can flip either way.
It doesn't have to be that order.
Nashville has their defense, but Winnipeg has their offense.
Yes, exactly. And they both have real solid goaltending. So both of those two teams are 1 and 2. Doesn't matter the order. It really is because Minnesota they outplayed everybody at 101 points, 45, 26, and 11.
St. Louis added a center and what's his name, Ryan O'Reilly.
Yes, not only that, but a huge piece to the St. Louis Blues this year. This is why I think the Blues will be better this year. I think they could be over 100 points. They get Robbie Fabry back, and that's huge for them. So,
Colorado could be a team where they fall off again, or they can continue winning their last season.
So it's very exciting for the Central, though.
But another thing that happened, just kind of transitioning back to the Atlantic and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned Atlantic. Some big news for the Atlantic for a few things.
There's two,
there's more than two things. So, true. So, actually, it's literally the Atlantic Day today.
Yeah.
So, the biggest news coming out for the Tampa Bay Lightning, their GM in Steve Yzerman announced he is leaving.
Yeah.
Which is interesting and hard to believe. It's just bizarre. Let me go back to where they mentioned this. Because it took me very, very much by surprise. Where was it? I can't find this right now. Okay, maybe it's a little bit further back. Because was this before the Karlsson trade happened or after?
Right
around it.
I might have been like a day before it. But
Okay. Yeah, because.
Or you could probably just search Steve Yasmin or see if I
Yeah, because there's specific stuff I retweeted, and I wanted to find. Nice one.
You hit the table. I think I do that every podcast.
Sounds about right. Also, just like some other small news, Justin Williams was named the captain for the Carolina Hurricanes. Other news, at least in Atlantic-wise, Henrik Zetterberg has announced his retirement due to back issues, and that's a huge loss.
It is, but with Zetterberg's age, I don't know.
It is. Yeah, I wasn't sure how much better he would.
With the team or whatever, but it's just him as a leader and everything that they're going to miss.
Right, and I agree. And this is where I think Dylan Larkin could perhaps, I don't know about this year, but very soon would be the next captain.
It's kind of a similar situation to the Islanders, which I'll get to.
With who?
The Islanders.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad you did mention that. But
I said that he's not like Tavares is, but he is. Like, he's a good player, but that's another thing that they have to kind of figure out is how they.
Yeah. No, I agree that's a great point you made. Other news in the NHL, big loss in depth for the Nashville Predators as Austin Watson was suspended 27 games for off-ice actions.
Yeah.
So that's there has been. It's not good.
No.
But
what do you think? Do you think Steve Yzerman being out affects Tampa Bay going forward, or
it kind of does?
Has, a little more other than just him saying some of the moves.
It kind of does make a big difference in Yzerman leaving, because Yzerman helped land Ryan McDonough, not only him but McDonough and JT Miller.
He was able to resign him too.
And re-sign them. Man, it's unbelievable. But I think the reason why, I think it was more family matters for why he stepped down. About Yzerman stepping down as GM. But it's very, I don't know. It was surprising for the hockey world, but inside Tampa, it wasn't so surprising. It sounds like, because some were very surprised. So, but he is taking an advisory role with the team. So.
If you see what LeBron tweeted, back on the 11th or whatever.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, because I was like, where is this?
Yeah. His tweet was, Yzerman all these years has been commuting from Detroit to Tampa Bay. His family has stayed behind in Michigan. It takes a toll. I can't say I saw this coming at all, but you can certainly understand the reason why.
Yes, no, absolutely, and that's
because you're traveling a lot with the team.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. John Shannon of Sportsnet also.
If they were in Tampa Bay, it would have been different.
It would be big different, but
instead you can see them on their home.
Yes, and now people are saying, possible Detroit reunion type of thing. I don't think it's happening.
No, I think he might stay out of hockey for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Even with staying in Detroit, he's still traveling a lot.
Yes,
I think he just needs to stay home and kind of.
be with family.
Yeah.
John Shannon tweeted out, Steve Yzerman's resignation in Tampa Bay has everything to do with quality of life. Steve has always been completely committed to any task at hand. Yeah. If not, he would feel guilty that he was taking Vinnick's money. Right now, being away from family and too much travel was taking a toll. So, and Yzerman even said himself, quote, "This change is important for me, which will allow me to spend more time with my family." He said, "Julian is more than ready and deserves the opportunity. Yeah. He's done an outstanding job."
Don't think they're going to have to struggle without him just trying to figure out the cap issues. But he did all the big things this offseason.
He did. Which I think was huge that he's able to figure out all of this.
Kucherov, so nobody has to worry about that.
Yes, and McDonough, which I was very surprised they signed him to that big of a deal and were able to, actually. But, so looking at their team, they're due for a cup. They really are. Look at this lineup. Steven Stamkos, Ryan Callahan, Andre Palat, JT Miller, Tyler Johnson, Nikita Kucherov, Alex Killorn, Yanni Gourde, Cedric Paquette, Adam Aaron, Braden Point, and then the other two on their further forwards, Andy Andreoff and Corey Conker are not the biggest names, but very decent depth pieces. Their defensemen, they just got stronger. Mikhail Sergachev and McDonough and Victor Hedman, they're the big pieces because this is also interesting news that I saw. I was rather taken back by. This is further up.
That's pretty much the old New York Rangers.
It is. A buddy of mine, Max, he calls it the Rangers of the Atlantic, which he's not wrong. There's a lot of former Rangers. But Joe Smith, who covers the Tampa Bay Lightning for The Athletic, he said that he has not seen Jake Dawson on the ice with his group. And turns out, according to Elliot Freeman, Jake Dawson was on unconditional waivers to terminate his contract.
Wow.
So I was rather taken back by that because I thought, well, why? Dawson, I think, is a great player. And, so that definitely surprised me.
Bad history.
Yes. But it sounds like, Dawson did clear waivers. So we'll see where he goes. His agent / NHLPA is looking to appeal of his contract termination. I don't know why he got terminated.
Because you're not going to find a better team than trying to contend if that's what you want.
Yes.
And most likely, he probably thought, I don't think I'm going to be getting any starting time.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because you're top. So looking at yes and no, because here's your top at least 4 D-men: Hedman, McDonough, Sergachev, and then you do Strawman. Yeah, I would say those two, and then Coburn and Girardi. Your other 2 defensemen. But I would easily switch out Coburn or Girardi with Dawson.
Yeah, it would be like a revolving door kind of thing. But I feel like he probably thought I'm probably going to be gone in the press box here. I'm the youngest girl else is kind of older than me. I'm only 24.
Yep.
Maybe getting somewhere where I can play more. That's my only.
Right. So here's the other thing. Tampa Bay, after this season ends.
Every year they're my favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
Right? All right. This year I'm not going to pick them.
They lost to the Capitals because they kind of blew it near the end.
They did.
Got tired.
They did. I don't know why, but I don't know if a couple guys were hurt as well. Probably.
Most likely,
exactly. But hey, you got to hand it to the Caps. They did a tremendous job.
Yeah,
However,
it's not taking anything away from them.
Right. No, I agree with you. Here's my thing. After this season, you have 3 huge contracts disappearing potentially for the Lightning. Anton Strawman, Braden Coburn, and Dan Girardi. Strawman's $4.5 mil, Coburn $3.7, Girardi $3 mil. Let's say, hypothetically, if you get rid of all 3 players,
you could trade Callahan or something.
You get, if you don't re-sign those 3 players, you clear up $8.2 mil in that. For Ryan Callahan, and that was also why I definitely thought that when there was that rumor that popped out over the summer that Karlsson got traded to the Lightning, it sounded like in order for this to work, Callahan would have to have. It would have, and the team that would have most likely been involved is the New York Rangers, and Callahan would have went back to.
Surprising because they traded for Callahan, so they obviously have a good relationship.
Yes, exactly.
So going to probably get us to go to the Rangers.
Right. But anyway, so Callahan is a free agent in 2020, 2021. Yeah. He's 33. It's kind of a shame because he's been, a former captain to assistant captain and everything, and he's been like a fourth-line player now for Tampa Bay. But it sucks just because
it sucks. But
if he fits because
he's a third or fourth-line player, I think. Anyways, at this point.
At this point, yes, because regardless of what team you're on, maybe a second depending on the team. Yeah. But
I mean, if you said people play above.
But look at the team that he's playing on. I'll go over the lines right now. JT Miller, Stamkos, Kucherov on top line, Palat, Point, Johnson on second line, Killorn, Anthony Cirelli, that's another young player that I'm excited about. And Yanni Gord, third line. Fourth line, Paquette, Andreev, and Callahan. That's still not a bad line.
No.
Like
Callahan, the reason why you keep them is for the reason why you bring Jason Miller back. They're good on the PK.
Yes, exactly. They're great on the PK. They're, a nuisance
and
like
also,
anything else.
Let's not forget, Vasilevsky's only 24, and he's already one of the best goalies in the league.
I know it's hard to believe, but I was a little surprised that was Vasilevsky named a candidate for the Vezina this past season?
He might have been.
I want to look that up because
everyone's kind of responding for it.
Yeah. But
I mean, with the defense in front of him, it's hard for him not to because
he was a Vezina finalist, and rightfully so. I did think because it was Hellebuck, Pecorino who eventually won it, and Andrei Vasilevsky.
And not only that is when he was coming up, when they were in the playoffs before with Bishop was hurt
and he proved how well he could play. Like he
did he play once a 7 or 6?
7. Because it was in 2015. It was literally game 1. Bishop got hurt, or at least I think it was game 1. But it was something like that. And Vasilevsky came in and he did a superb job.
And obviously they saw, this is our guy in the future, and he's going to be able to outplay Bishop. So.
Yes, exactly.
Get rid of the contract with Bishop and then go with him.
And I think at the time it was a rather
the good thing for them is they can kind of figure out their cap issues before dealing with Vasilevsky.
Yes.
Because he's the RFA in 2020.
Yes, so he's still got time. Right now the Lightning have $2.64 million in cap space. So, we'll see what happens there.
But now that we've talked about a half hour or so, this whole half of this has been about the NHL, but let's go back towards home. And the Flyers training camp started out this past week. Yep. This past weekend, just see how everyone's going. There's a preseason game tonight. And so Islanders, after rolling last night, they didn't look the best, but
and
also St. News and everything.
Right. There's a couple takeaways for sure. Well, one of the bigger ones I think is Anthony Stolarz. He came back and he looked solid.
Yeah,
he looked pretty good.
He let a couple goals by.
He did, but it's he looks solid. Exactly. You can't expect.
I'm not taking anything away from any of these guys for the first game.
Yeah, especially Stolarz because he's returning from
he only played like a handful
of ECHL games.
Or one AHL game.
Yes. But he's getting back in the swing of things, which is great.
And Myers looks great. He looked good last night. He looked great in the rookie game.
So, and
he's
now
making it harder, or making a reason for him to be or to be out there, or to earn a spot.
Yeah, and even more, he's most likely will be up there because.
And also, just being excited tonight, he's with Provorov.
That's going to be perfect. I'm looking forward to watching that. Because here's the thing. Travis Sanheim is out at least a week.
That's a dodgeable bullet.
That is a huge dodgeable bullet because a certain player named Matt Martin is delivering cheap shots during a preseason game.
Yeah. And not even just that. If you see the play, he's going towards the wall. Yeah. The boards. That's kind of the thing that they're trying to get rid of.
Exactly. And
well, the thing is,
it frustrates
me. Do you think he gets a hearing?
Oh, that's a tough call.
Injury, but he got hurt, and it was towards the board.
I want to look. I want to look up.
I think it was all reason why it was not the head. Is I think at the last moment, Sanheim turned, so more of a shoulder took.
That's what people were saying. Like, oh, he turned and everything. Yeah, and everything. It was still a bad play. Like, you don't make that hit.
That's why you don't really see those players anymore.
Exactly.
That changing, so I don't know
completely. Like there's maybe 5 to 10 quote unquote goons or enforcers nowadays.
Yeah.
So
there's Martin, there's Reeves, and
Wilson, and Washington.
Yeah. They're done now.
They really are.
I mean, I think Ronaldo started in Arizona last year. I think he's really played.
Yeah.
He's back in Nashville though. That's where he's at.
That's right. back under Laviolette.
Yeah, but that's when he was at his best, and when you were able to trade for his third round pick.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the greatest things you could ever do. But I don't know. I certainly see that Martin could get suspended. I don't think he will because the NHL Department of Player Safety is rather soft. But that's just my opinion and everything.
Yeah,
but I said a lot.
Before about head injuries and everything.
Yes.
And it's this thing that they're trying to get rid of. Just like a Carcillo and other guys like him.
Yeah, again, like you mentioned, the game has changed completely.
Yeah, the fourth line is no longer your checking line. Your fourth line is the guys with speed who can fortune.
Yes, so, and kill. And some of the players you might have on your penalty kill every now and then, in case like guys are tired or hurt or anything like that. Yeah, so the Flyers certainly dodged a bullet. That was great.
Because I was worried he was going to be out for a while.
Yep.
All right, my thing was, at best case, it's like Provorov for the playoffs when you're shorter.
Yes. You have that right.
It was like separated, but he didn't need surgery and only got like a month.
That's right. Some other small news for the Flyers surrounding training camp. The morning skate on day 4 of training camp, GM Ron Hextall announced to the media that the roster has been reduced by 4 players. The following has been returned to their junior teams: Matthew Strome to the Hamilton Bulldogs, Maxim Sushko to the Owen Sound Attack, I think. Is that what Owen Sound is?
I think it is.
Yes, it's Owen Sound Attack. And then you have Wyatt. Huh? Nice. Wyatt Wiley to the Everett Silvertips, where Carter Hart's team is, of course. But, of course, Carter Hart is not there yet, which is nice. And in addition, the following player has been removed from his amateur tryout, Liam Hughes.
But this is the pairing for tonight. It's Hay goes Gorov, Myers, Samola, Friedman.
Who's the one before Friedman?
Samola.
Okay.
I mean, Gorov, Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be great. So.
But the other thing, I don't know how much you want to take into it, just being the second game, but Alec Bell's playing today.
Yes, yeah, Alec Bell, he looked real good.
But also the other thing that's been for the better going to see all preseason is the third center race.
Right. Felt Myers, going back to him for a bit, he logged nearly 22 minutes last night, 21 minutes and 51 seconds, literally 9 seconds short.
And he looked great.
He did. He looked so
compared to everyone else, I mean, I'm not saying much, but he's one of the few that actually stood out.
And also Travis Konechny, Nolan Patrick, and Mikhail Verboyev, who also had a great game.
Konechny looks like his fast stuff.
Loved it. Patrick looked great. They spent the most time on the power play, logging nearly 5 minutes each.
And the interesting thing is, if you're a Flyers fan seeing Konechny on the PK, I guess that's something they want to try to work out.
TK on the PK.
Yes.
I had to say that once.
I thought it was like the second half you left.
It's like, wait, Jeff, I thought of this.
But yeah, Konechny did look good last night. Because it was him and Lindblom that were on the PK together, which might explain why they didn't do so well on the PK.
Right. And
just probably testing out things just to make it a little more offensively or get a little more speed.
Right. And
so if you clear it and if he goes down,
that's right. And so some of the actually here's what the line combinations and defensive pairings looked like for most of the game. Lindblom, Patrick connecting on that top line. Taylor Lear, German Rubisov, and Cole Bardreau on the second line. Dank Martel, Mikhail Verboyev, Nicholas Obka-Bell. Third line, Carson Torensky, Morgan Frost, and Maskim and Zushko. On the fourth line, Sanheim and Follin, Haig, Myers, and TJ Brennan and Reese Wilcox.
That's the only thing. Haig did look the best.
Yeah, he's. I don't know.
He had a couple turnovers, but I'm not going to hold anything against him.
Two of the quotes that came out of following the game from first Dave Haxtell. Some guys competed hard throughout, and a couple guys competed hard early on and got a little bit better as the game went on. Overall, too many soft areas of the game from my standpoint, too many soft performances in hard areas. It's a tough game, and for some guys, maybe it's coming off of practice or first answer game. Those are tough experiences, but we had too many guys that were soft in the hard areas of this game. And then for Stolars, I've been working hard in practice to try to knock off some of that rust, but at the same time, you can't mimic a game. I think it was kind of nice to see that they had a lot of speed and a lot of NHL guys out there because you want to get thrown into the fire early, and I thought I held my own pretty well. And I agree. I think for the most part, you can't give him too much to yell at him for just because the first game in months.
You know who Stolars is. I don't think you're going to expect him to take out or get a shot out or one goal past him every night.
Right.
Either, so 3 goals I can live with.
Yeah, he stopped 13 to 15 shots, including 12 of 12 at even strength, appearing in 29 minutes, 29 seconds of time on ice. Alex Lyon played the final half of the game, stopping 9 of 10 total shots. And then you had... Oh, sorry. And then, obviously Hextall had the update on his condition yesterday. So,
which we already know now.
Yes.
For a week or so.
So there's all
also,
that.
Not just from the game last night, but looking towards the game tonight. I said that did appearance before, but this is what the lines are going to look for tonight. Giroux, Wheel, Mikubel, Van Riemsdyk for Roboyov, Voracek, Lawton, Knight, Weiss, Ratcliffe, Vecchione, Goldborn, Forsman. I mean, it'll be good to see JVR back in the Flyers jerseys.
I agree.
And that could be a good line because third center line, Weiss, Hextall, singled out for Boyov.
Yep.
Praising him today.
Yeah, for sure. Because for Boyov, he certainly looks sharp.
Yeah, he does.
Again.
Another person that stopped it really well on that rookie game.
Yes, no, absolutely. He certainly looked great. And I think that Verboyev more and more might have a real chance of being that third line center. If not third line, then fourth line,
I think that's not looking too much into it, but seeing Wheel, the first line center tonight, might put our kind of.
That's going to be interesting.
I mean, it's an interesting line with Giroux, Wheel, and Abel, but
I mean, hey, it's a lot of speed, but I think
outside of Boyov, that second line is going to be Patrick instead of him, but
yes,
that's going to be that could be.
But for a little bit on Wheel and Giroux, they've had some former chemistry together. I think it's good because Wheel. It's interesting because players like Wheel and Michael Raffel, they're able to somehow stick with Giroux and or Voracek or Couturier.
They're guys that can kind of fit it anywhere. You can plug up something right. That'll work. Well, Raffel more so than Wheel, but Raffel is a guy that can be put into any situation and still do well. Because last season he was like in every line essentially.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's something too. And also he name dropped Rubtsov too for the third center spot. Even though I don't think he has like a chance.
I don't know what his deal is. I can't lay my finger on him.
Yeah.
I really can't. I want to see.
He looked pretty good last night, but he also had the great thing of I kind of lost him a couple times.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be the most offensive guy, but I think he's definitely an AHL. I don't think he's got any chance, but he's another person that has.
Let me look for German Rubtsov. His contract is ending after the 2020-2021 season.
He'll be on the Phantoms this year. So.
Yeah, so it'd be good to see him get his first year of professional hockey. But I think that will help shape his game. I still don't know how you feel about him, though.
I still say that I've been saying is that if it's not Wheel or Law taking a third center spot, or no, he'd be fourth center. Sorry, I was about to say
Yes.
But then I'd probably say it'd be Roy off for the third center spot.
No, I agree.
And I'm also kind of interested to see how Vecchione does tonight, too.
Yeah, Vecchione I'm excited for. I think the Flyers should give him a more of a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, one small thing I did want to mention. Alexander Barkov was named the 10th captain for the in franchise history for the Florida Panthers today.
Interesting.
So yeah, I certainly thought about that, but I thought more someone like Aaron Ekblad would be the captain. Yeah. But hey, hats off to Barkov. Still an incredible player. And
we also can see Carter Hart too.
Yes, Carter Hart. Yep. No, that would be good.
My favorite thing that's come out of Flyers training camp so far is that I think it was Saturday. Hart stopped Drew. Then the next time down, he went with Couturier and scored.
Yes.
Don't get too cocky, kid.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I love that. It was awesome. And then you did mention the fourth line for tonight's line, right? For Ratcliffe, Vecchione, Goulbourne. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Ratcliffe is someone I've been having my eye on.
Yes.
I like his game. His size in the game, I just kind of am interested to see.
Yes.
What else? I'm still interested in Frost. He's looked good at times, I guess. I didn't really notice him last night really, but the rookie game he looked good. He scored. He looked fast. He had a breakaway, but he didn't score on it.
Right.
I think I also there was another time when he scored on touch me right away. I said Frost scored. There's all like that.
Yeah, that was funny. Here's an interesting note. I don't know how if you noticed this or not, but Hextall said he thought Morgan Frost was one of the many young Flyers who looked intimidated in Sunday's preseason opener at Nassau Coliseum. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's his first actual NHL game or anything, so I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he had nerves going into it.
Right.
But I mean, the rookie game is pretty much him going up against other junior or AHL guys.
Yep.
But this is something different. He's going up against some of the team, and Robert Leonard is actually going to be their starter and everything, but
right.
I don't know. I mean, you're going to expect it from a young guy. It's going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I'm curious to see what will happen, but yeah.
He'll bounce back. He's a guy, he's a center for the future.
Yep.
Not the number one center, because I still think it's going to be Couturier.
Easily.
But then
Patrick. Hextall said that Jordan Wheel and Lawton are still the top guys for the third line center position, reported by John Bork. He did say Frost was one of those guys, again, who looked intimidating yesterday. Again, thinking about nerves and everything like that. So
I think he's looked good so far, too, from what I've seen from him.
Yes. No, he has looked real solid. No, that was Tanner Lazinski. I always get this two mixed up. Carson Twarynski and Tanner Lazinski.
I thought you said it was Twarynski.
No, I was thinking, I always get this two mixed up. But Tanner Lazinski from Ohio State University, I did recently write an article for.
Yeah, we talked about brushing on him last time, but didn't really go that into.
But I did write an article for Sports Talk Philly on him. And if you are interested in checking that out, you can go to sportstalkphilly.com. And if you do a search, you can look up Tanner Lazinski or go to the Flyers tab.
Or scroll down until you find just quick name on the side.
That works too.
Or you can look at my stuff. I've never ran in like a month or so.
Proud of you. But yeah, it should be, I think, on the second page. But it's what is Lazinski's potential with the Flyers for my latest article.
Yeah.
So, but other than that.
Yeah, I think we've brushed on a little bit of everything.
Yep. Who's your player to watch for tonight?
Tonight, I'd say Abigail.
It's a good one.
Only because it's the second game after playing last night, and it's going to be with Drew.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to help him a little bit just because it was Drew, but it's going to, I think, for me to see if it's something where it could work, where he could be a fourth-line guy. Because Pierre didn't look that good last night.
Right.
Because he could possibly be someone that could take over Lear's spot.
Yeah, I certainly I'm kind of cheating the system a bit. I'm my players, I should say, of the game that I want to watch out for. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say is Mike Vecchione, but also Philip Myers, because Myers, he's being paired with Provorov. Yeah. I want to see how those two look together. I think they're gonna be great.
Yeah.
Vecchione, I think there's a lot of hype around him about signing potentially wherever, and he signed with the Flyers.
True.
But I want to see what the hype is about, because I think Vecchione has what it takes, and he did help lead Union College to the national championship 2014. But I think he has what it takes.
And my guess is Drew and them will probably play a little bit, but they'll want to see more of the guys.
Oh, I agree.
So you're gonna see him a lot more.
You'll see Drew.
Because he's probably someone like, okay, we're not really sure just yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how they feel about him so far, but you can only take so much into it just because it's the first preseason game. Mm-hmm. But you just have to wait and see how that goes.
Right. No.
Obviously, hard. We want to see how he does. I hope whoever doesn't hurt. Yeah. Knock on wood.
Like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the game tonight, and it should be a 7:00 start for the Flyers. The Islanders are visiting the Flyers at the Wells Fargo Center. Or no, is it Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Okay, it is Wells Fargo Center. You can watch on NSP Plus. I'm assuming that's NBC Sports Philly Plus. Yep. So is that the old TSN or TCN? I always get this mixed up. All right, cool. All right, that makes me happy because I can always watch the game. So,
but
there's that.
Until we do this again.